The WWE deal
Right.
that you did, that's another one. All these deals are, and you've said this before, for the new Fox, you're taking over broadcast nights. How does FS1 fit in with all this?
Yeah, there's FS1 is obviously a massively important part of the overall equation. You know, I think having this broadcast platform that is really unique, where we could go on a Friday night with WWE. You know, WWE has never been on a sports network. And you could argue whether is it truly sports, is it entertainment? It's definitely some type of a blend. We could, you know, discuss like where in the spectrum you might believe it is. But bringing out a sports fan, which is a very core audience of the WWE, we think is vital. And FS1, you know, is going to be a key component of a lot of other programming that you might not see SmackDown Live on FS1, but FS1 is going to be a major participant in all the different properties we have on Fox. FS1 is going to have significant programming. For example, we also did a big boxing deal recently. And the PBC came to Fox because they saw this ability to be on the broadest platform possible. And it's funny, you know, again, a lot of others are looking at a much more narrow platform. And if you have a property, the way you expose your property is on the broadest way possible with the biggest promotional platform possible. And that is what the PBC really saw by having some fights on Fox, some fights on FS1, some pay-per-view fights, and an ability to promote to fans in NFL, in college football, that others can't really do that. So we're really trying to make sure the community knows, again, when I say the community, it's the broader sports world, that we think we have an unrivaled promotional ability and platform ability for a broad-based, increase the exposure of your property that others are not focused on as much, as they have different priorities to build other businesses that are much more narrow in what they're trying to do. But FS1, getting back to that, you know, the ratings for FS1 have grown every year for the last 3 years. Our studio shows grow double digits continually, Undisputed and The Herd and First Things First, and now with Lock It In and Fair Game now. We are continuing to build our audience, and it gives us a great base that we could then promote and introduce other programming coming out more on the event side in the evenings and weekends.
What surprises me is since you came in, that whole afternoon slate, you really didn't touch much. I mean, you kind of continued to roll with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like they say, when it's working, if it's working, don't mess with it. And, you know, coming in with a fresh mind, and really I had no preordained view on it, you know, just in a world where television is just, obviously the ratings are challenging. And having ratings that are moving, you know, increasing on a regular basis, it's a signal that, you know, people like this stuff, and more people are enjoying it. So, you know, just making sure that, you know, what I'm focusing on are areas that need attention versus things that are already working. And I think we're actually, and now that the ratings have grown, our relevant advertising for those shows has significantly picked up as well. So I think that's been a very positive story the last couple of years. Again, through programming, as you mentioned, thank you, that I really had nothing to do with, but usually I'm able to take the credit until you point out I had nothing to do with it. So thanks. I guess I'll throw that out the window.
Take the credit.
Thanks.
That's great. I'm giving you the credit.
Thanks.